हेलो एंड वेलकम। बैंकर से चर्चा फाइनेंस शो में आपका स्वागत है और मैं हूं आपका होस्ट आशीष कपूर। We are continuing our chat with Mr. Tamal Bandyopadhyay on his latest book, Roller Coaster: An Affair with Banking. So Tamalda, why do you often describe yourself as a keen student of banking with over 2.5, 3 decades experience, even after so many accomplishments?
I mean, I don't know. I think that's the approach. I have, because I am a student. There's no harm. Why should I? This is not a modesty, or this not sort of a gimmick. It is, of course, technically one reason could also be technically I'm not qualified to do what I've been doing because I'm a student of English literature. So it's just I got into banking reporting, and then I needed to learn things for which I really need to burn midnight oil. Needed to burn midnight oil. If I presume that no, I'm not a student, I know everything, that's the day my downfall will start. So it's not modesty. It's not. It's absolutely true, and I think all of us who take our what we do seriously, we need to be a student. So that's the approach. I don't have the technical expertise. I don't have the technical background. So which one person who was a finance who had gone through finance as a subject in a student life would do in 30 minutes. I would take 3 hours to appreciate that. So which is why I have to be a student, and fortunately I have my teachers at everywhere. Bankers, commercial bankers, central bankers, fund managers, investment bankers, economists. So whenever I am stuck, I knock at the relevant door, and fortunately the doors are open. And then I spend time to understand things. I end up asking stupid questions, but my what I've seen is I get great learnings by asking stupid questions. If I claim that I know everything, then I would stop learning. So
Right.
this is not about bank reporting. I think any and every professional, the true professional approaches his or her work this way. So I'm not an exception.
Absolutely. No, as you very rightly said, there are so many things to learn in banking, and one has to be a lifelong learner to appreciate the nuances of each and every aspect of banking. Now, as someone who is technically from the outside, sir, but has a good ringside view, I would say, or better inside view than most bankers, what advice would you give to freshers starting out or even students contemplating a long career in banking?
Well, the other day I was having a fireside chat with Arundhati Bhattacharya.
Ji.
In she got some an award, achievement award, and I engaged her in a conversation. So when she got into banking,
Right.
as a provisionary officer in State Bank of India, her mother reacted, "Oh, your job is will be counting money." So I'm talking about the 70s. But
Right.
as a banking has changed, right? Over a period of time, as we speak, banking has changed. So the one who comes to banking is, as I were discussing, that all the or the most of the banks, or the right way to survive and flourish is reposition your bank as a tech company. So things are different. It's gone beyond counting money.
Right.
Okay, the product, the processes, technology, everything has changed. So one has to enjoy what one doing, and this is true for every profession. And other part is this, because banker deals with money, people's
Right.
money, your money, my public money.
Public
So
money.
job is very different. So in some, it's a very boring business. It has to be a boring business. If you want to be adventurous, then you are inviting trouble for yourself, inviting trouble for your money, my money. You are dealing with, as a banker, you are dealing with public money. So you have enormous responsibility. The part is this ethics, governance, all those issues are different issues. But I think the basic part is this: you are taking money from A and you are giving money to B, and you are keeping a margin out of that, and you have to keep your cost of operation lower so that the margin takes care of cost of operation and your profitability. And you understand, I mean, how leverage is the banking business. Typically, it's a 9% capital adequacy ratio. So for every 100 rupee worth of loan, you need to have a 9 rupee capital. So one out of 100 rupees, 8 or 9 rupee worth of loan goes bad, which means your capital completely eroded. You can't be, you can't remain in the business anymore. So it's a highly leveraged business.
Right.
So which is why I am saying there is no place of adventurism in banking.
Right.
Technology, you have to embrace, you have to understand, and you have to convert your bank as a tech company. That's a separate story altogether.
Sure.
But about the basic approach of banking, basic business does not change, which is taking money from A and giving money to B, and keep a margin and keep your cost of operations low. It's there, and because it's a highly leveraged business, if you are an adventurer, then you are in trouble for yourself. As I said, 9 rupee capital helps you to build 100 rupee loan book. 1 9 rupee loan goes bad, your entire capital
gets eroded. Right.
That's it.
Yeah, no, really very sage advice, Tamalda. I wanted to go back to your take you to your trainee internship days. Would you like to share any personal experiences during your early days of your career? If you had to do, share anything about your odd jobs or entertainment pages, or your, anything on, if you can share with us, sir.
Yeah, there are many anecdotes, lots of interesting stories, because I joined as a trainee in Times of India those days in 1980s, mid-80s. We were the last batch of Times training, and parallelly Times of India at that point of time started its own journalism school in Delhi. So I think the last batch of trainee and the first batch of journalism school, I think we are almost on the same time. And before getting the trainee tag, or rather getting this job, I came for the final interview. That itself is a story. The old area of Bodhibandar, which is just opposite VT station. But I didn't know that. So it was the first time I'm coming to Mumbai, to Gitanjali Express, and came out, and then I came out from the GPO side. That gate. Those who are familiar with Mumbai and that VT area, they will know. And then I got my shoe polished, and then I hailed a cab. I got into the cab, and I said, cab, okay? And they said, the Times of India. That fellow gave me a look. I couldn't follow. Why is he looking at me like this? Because this is actually a 2-minute walk. You just across the road. But I didn't know. So the cab took me to the, to Shahid Bhagat Singh Marg, and then turned right, and then came back on that. Dropped. I think 350 rupees was the capture.
My God.
At that time. That itself was, that is the shortest taxi ride one can have. I did that. And during the trainee period, we are supposed to be, rotated to various departments. You need to be in the desk doing editing. You need to be in reporting. You need to even do writing obits, so on and so on, obituaries, all these things. But in my case, what happened, I got, after the initial training period, I got posted in the then Sunday Review, that Sunday special supplement, which is the lady Fatma Zakaria was the boss. I got there, and I stayed put there for she did not let me go. And this was basically women-dominated department. There was only another gentleman who was there, and I was the second man. It was pretty interesting, pretty good work I used to do. One particular incident I remember, this legendary cartoonist R.K.Laxman. So in Sunday Review, what happened is most of the time when the front page would have the main story would have Lakshman's cartoon.
Right.
There was once Padma told me, just go to Mr. Lakshman and tell us that our story this time on aerobics, main story. And So look, we need an illustration by him. So I walked into Mr. Lakshman's room, and he said, I gave him the the article, because typically what happened, he would read it and then he would do his illustration. Many a time he would do illustration on his own, but sometimes you need some kind of photographs, etc., from the library. At that time, the librarian was one Mr. Arun Tikekar, who later became the editor of Maharashtra Times. So Mr. Lakshman looked at the copy and he said, "You get me, um, you get me a photograph of giant panda," something like this said. So I was wondering that it's a story on aerobics. Why I need to go for giant panda, big panda? This thing. I could not make out what happened. And then I went to the library. I spoke to the librarian Arun Tikekar, and I picked up some good photographs of giant pandas. I brought them. I brought them to Mr. Lakshman's, R.K.Laxman's cabin. He looked at it and he burst out laughing.
Achha.
And then he caught hold of me by my collar, and we walked through the corridor, and he came to Mrs. Zakaria, Fatma Zakaria, my boss's cabin. And he said, "Look what this Bengali boy has done. I have asked for," he actually asked for Jane Fonda, the Arabic
expert. Yeah.
He asked for Jane, but for some reason, I thought
You
he
heard
asked
it
for
as
giant.
Okay.
And that people started talking about that. So it was hilarious. Mr. R.K.Laxman holding me by my collar and walking on the corridor, getting into Mrs. Zakaria's cabin, and said, "Look what this Bengali boy has done." So there are many such stories.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, fantastic. So you've described your personal experiences, during your working stints across Mumbai, Kolkata, Gujarat, and elsewhere in the roller coaster. And therefore, a lot of people assume that this book doubles up as your mini autobiography. My question was, when can all your fans expect a official, bona fide Tamal Bandyopadhyay autobiography? And is that the next upcoming book in the works?
No, not at all, Ashiesh. No, not at all.
Many.
I would not like to write my autobiography, because who will be interested in reading it? I'm a very ordinary person. I have not done anything in life to be, like a role model, or my life story will be inspiring. Nothing like that. So I will not have any reader for me. And some friends will read, and some journalists may pick up and all. But that's not I want. So definitely, I don't want to write an autobiography, because I don't deserve. My life story is not exciting, not interesting for people. So I would not venture into that. This book is not semi-autobiographical. Well, little bit of in the beginning of the book, I put in just to put in the context,
Right.
because if you see the subtitle of the book, Roller Coaster, An Affair with Banking. Actually, the publisher and me were thinking about, should we say my affair with banking, but I was not very comfortable with use the word my affair with banking, because the word my will give a sense that it is autobiographical.
Right.
Right. So I don't want to, but certain part of me, because being a student of English literature and being from a general stream, I got into the financial journalism by accident. So I wanted to put that context, and how I picked up the thread from here and there, how I created, or rather discovered, teachers from various corners, etc., who had been continuously teaching. In that context, a slice of my life have came in, and as I said, my life is exciting what people will love and become a bestseller. So no, I'll not.
No, so here, of course, I must say you're being very modest, but I get your point that, you wanted to basically set the context, and that's why, you've been, shared your such wonderful incidents and tidbits from your life. Wonderful, sir. One last personal question before we have to bid you goodbye. I understand that, you're a Piscean, Pisces zodiac sign, Tamal, and apparently Pisceans and Librans have the highest chances of becoming billionaires, which of course we have no way of confirming. I just read it somewhere where, where it said 11% chance for one and 12%, and the rest of them were like mid single digits. So, okay, keeping the billionaire bit apart, Pisceans are often seen as these artistic, deep thinkers excelling in many professions requiring creative imagination. So my question was, if if Tamal Bandyopadhyay was not an award-winning writer journalist, what different profession perhaps you may have chosen? Any other hobbies and passion you think you would have liked to develop further back in time?
Oh, well, Ashish, I'm very impressed the way your homework, including date of birth, every day, everything, you
Right.
worked on it. So, two parts of it. One is this: what I could have been had I been not been journalist, financial journalist. I don't know. I really don't know because I would not. It's not that. So those days in 80s when you came out from the university as a postgraduate in English literature student, um, and I was not a very extremely bright, outstanding student. No, I mean I was good. That's it. Not beyond that. So what are the options before me? One is primarily teaching into college and or university, getting to PhD, etc. And other part is probably go for administrative service, IAS kind of stuff. So those are the two popular options at that point of time. Then someone pointed out the Statesman Times of India advertisement came, and someone said that why not try this out? Apparently it's very tough. Will you be able to make it? I said why not? Let's try it. That's it. At that point of time, I was more into creative writing, and when I came and the first day I came. First day meaning not for the first not for the final interview when I took the taxi from VT station to Times of India. That
Right.
first day, the joining of the training, when I saw on the large hall, and then there was dozens of people on their typewriters. Those are the typewriter days, not
Days, yeah.
at computer, facing the wall. I thought there are so many typists. Actually, there are journalists. So I had no idea about journalism also. But I'm there, and then again, by accident from general stream, I got into the business journalism.
Right.
I don't want to discuss on that. But probably, had I not been a journalist, probably I might have tried to become a creative writer.
Okay.
Creative writer. I mean, in those days, my school and college days, universities, I used to write poems, short stories, etc., etc., getting it published in magazines that Bengali, and these are all mostly, not mostly, I would say primarily in Bengali, my mother tongue. Desh, which is a extremely well-known literary magazine in those days. My poems got into there, and then there are other magazines where my short stories got into there. So it was my, I would not call it dream, but probably I could have dabbled in creative writing. That's a I don't know, but I believe in that. Whatever we do, we must enjoy. Because if you only enjoy, then you can do well, and you can work long. Just if you don't enjoy and just for the paycheck, if you're working, then it's no fun. So I want to enjoy what I do, and even if I quit journalism in my early 50s, I would say, and then I got into advising banks, and then. And now the current role is a columnist, etc. Got into books, so I keep on. Every few years, I try to do things in a different way. Like, for instance, from reporting to getting into interviewing people to writing books to meeting investors. So I am a by nature, I don't know whether this is a Piscean characteristic that you spoke about. I am not aware of that. But by nature, I am a bit of, what would I say, that I'm impatient. I always look for excitement. I always look for changes. So that's what. Hobby, I love to have some hobbies that becomes, but I primarily enjoy my work. So I become a workaholic, which is not good for my family. In that sense, at a personal level, I'm a very boring person. My world revolves around my immediate family, my wife and son, and my work, and a pet, which I have
Right.
indie. I have. So I love. If you ask me beyond work, I love cats and dogs. I've been grown up with cats and dogs. Right now, I have indie. I love meeting people. Given a choice, given a chance, I would like to go back to creative writing sometime. So that's it.
Great. So thank you so much, Tamalda. Really appreciate that you took time out to chat with us and share snippets of your book as well as your thoughts on banking and obviously the bankers. आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया तमलदा। आज के लिए इतना ही दोस्तों। आशा करता हूँ कि आपको ये चर्चा पसंद आई। आप इस वीडियो को लाइक करें, शेयर करें और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि आने वाले कोई भी वीडियोस आपसे मिस ना हो जाएं। अगले एपिसोड में फिर मुलाकात होगी एक नए चर्चे पर, एक नए विषय पर। तब तक के लिए धन्यवाद, थैंक यू, शुक्रिया, जय हिंद।
Thank you, Ashish.